What if the world said no to America? Trump's new immigration crackdown is sparking global rebellion, and the backlash is bigger than anyone expected. Stay tuned, because what happens next could change everything. Some nations are denying deals, others are ignoring Washington's calls, and even U.S. states are openly rebelling. In this video, we'll reveal the 10 countries and regions that are standing up to Trump's new laws, and trust me, some of the names on this list will shock you. When the U.S. claimed it had a deal, Uganda fired back, "Not true." In August 2025, reports emerged that Uganda had agreed to accept illegal migrants deported from the U.S. But this wasn't the first time Uganda had been at the center of U.S. migration debates. For years, Uganda has balanced cooperation with the West and protecting its own sovereignty. Uganda's Ministry of Foreign Affairs quickly went public, flatly denying the claim. No such agreement exists. Officials emphasize that Uganda already hosts over 1.6 million refugees from conflicts in Sudan, the DRC, and Somalia, making it one of the world's top refugee-hosting nations. The government argued it lacks the resources, infrastructure, and legal framework to suddenly absorb U.S. deportees. Uganda's cautious approach is rooted in history. In the past, the country has resisted external pressure, quietly declining controversial deals while maintaining diplomatic ties. This strategy allows Uganda to avoid direct confrontation with powerful nations like the U.S., while still protecting its own interests. Sometimes the strongest refusal is silence. Trump's administration pitched deportation deals to several West African states, offering aid packages and diplomatic perks in exchange. But none of these leaders committed. Instead, they quietly avoided making statements, a classic move in African diplomacy. In West Africa, silence often equals rejection. Publicly refusing a U.S. president risks retaliation, loss of aid, trade, or diplomatic standing. But by doing nothing, these nations send a clear message. They will not be pressured into deals that don't serve their people. The idea of sanctuary laws in the United States dates back to the 1980s, when churches and cities began protecting Central American refugees fleeing violence. Over time, these policies spread to major cities and states, becoming a flashpoint in the national debate over immigration. Fast forward to today, Washington state stands at the forefront of this resistance. Governor Bob Ferguson, a vocal critic of federal immigration crackdowns, declared, "We will not be bullied into abandoning our values or our laws." When the Trump administration threatened to cut federal funding, Ferguson responded, "We're not intimidated by the Justice Department or the president." Local leaders, activists, and immigrant families rallied at the Capitol, holding signs and chanting for protection. Washington's economy relies on immigrant labor, especially in agriculture and technology. Business owners joined the resistance, warning that strict enforcement would drive away talent and hurt local industries. In Boston, Mayor Michelle Wu took a stand, declaring Boston will remain a sanctuary city even if it costs us millions in federal funds. Her words echoed through City Hall as crowds gathered in support. Sanctuary cities like Boston refuse to help federal agents enforce deportations. Instead, they focus on local policing and building trust with immigrant communities, arguing that public safety depends on everyone feeling safe to report crimes. Immigrant families in both cities have spoken out, sharing stories of fear and hope. "We just want to live without fear of being torn apart," said one Boston resident at a community gathering. Trump demanded compliance, but 20 states and Washington, D.C. fired back with a massive lawsuit. The coalition argued that withholding federal funds from sanctuary jurisdictions was unconstitutional, violating the 10th Amendment and the principle of states' rights. Their case cited landmark rulings like Prince v. United States and National Federation of Independent Business v. Sibelius, arguing the federal government cannot coerce states into enforcing federal law. Federal judges across the country issued injunctions, temporarily blocking the administration's orders. In courtrooms from California to New York, attorneys argued that the Constitution protects states, from federal overreach. The legal fight quickly escalated to the appellate courts, drawing national attention. The lawsuits revealed the scale of defiance. Nearly half the country was resisting. Governors and mayors held press conferences vowing to protect immigrant communities and uphold local laws regardless of federal threats. Internationally, Trump's expanded travel ban triggered outrage. Over a dozen countries, mostly in Africa and the Middle East, were suddenly barred from entry. Leaders from Nigeria, Sudan, and Iran condemned the move as discriminatory and unjust. Chad threatened reciprocal bans, while Venezuela's president called the policy political punishment. The African Union issued a statement denouncing the travel ban as an attack on international cooperation and human dignity. Imagine being denied entry to the U.S. because of a tweet or a Facebook post. Under Trump's new vetting policy, immigration officers can now deny visas or deport residents for what they call anti-American views. The process includes deep social media checks, interviews, and even reviews of classroom discussions. Human rights groups warn this could target students who criticize U.S. policy, speak out against police violence, or simply express dissent. One student from India was denied a visa after posting about racial discrimination on campus. European allies, especially Germany and France, have condemned the policy as a threat to free expression. No major U.S. ally has publicly supported the law. Advocacy groups say this silence is a powerful form of protest. Over 6,000 student visas were revoked in the last year alone, often for minor infractions or activism. One Iranian graduate student lost her visa after sharing a news article critical of U.S. policy. For many, years of hard work vanished overnight. Top universities like Harvard, MIT, and Columbia have spoken out, calling the crackdown a threat to academic freedom. University presidents have issued joint statements, and student protests have erupted on campuses nationwide. International students contribute $40 billion a year to the U.S. economy. When they leave, local businesses, universities, and entire communities feel the loss. The impact is personal, financial, and deeply human. They call it the Cornhusker clink, but not everyone wants it. When Trump struck a deal with Nebraska to build a massive new ICE detention center, local leaders touted jobs and federal funding. But almost immediately, a wave of resistance began to rise. Activists organized protest marches through Lincoln and Omaha, holding signs and chanting outside government buildings. Church leaders held vigils, denouncing the center as a moral crisis. Immigrant groups spoke out, calling it a prison for families and a symbol of fear. Similar scenes played out in states like Illinois and California, where plans for new detention centers sparked fierce local opposition. In some towns, church congregations offered sanctuary, while city councils passed resolutions against federal contracts. The national debate grew louder. Supporters argued detention centers are necessary for border security and law enforcement. Opponents warned they violate human rights and tear families apart, fueling a movement that crosses party lines. While some states comply, resistance is building on the ground level, showing the U.S. itself is split. From Kampala to Boston, from Caracas to campus protests, the message is the same: no. Across the country and around the world, local voices are making themselves heard. Uganda's denial, West Africa's silence, sanctuary states and cities suing and resisting, international allies refusing to endorse Trump's vetting laws. Together, these moves paint a picture of global defiance. America's policies don't guarantee obedience anymore. Trump's immigration laws are bold, sweeping, and controversial. But what's even more shocking is the resistance. From African leaders saying, "We never signed that," to U.S. states suing the federal government, to students and universities refusing to stay silent. The pushback is everywhere. This isn't just about immigration. It's about power, sovereignty, and who really gets to decide the future of migration. So what do you think? Are these countries and states justified in refusing Trump's laws, or should they be forced to comply? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because next week we're diving into another global showdown you won't want to miss.